You're listening to Curious and Interesting, a 2-minute podcast on what's new and intriguing in the world of advertising research. I'm Dr. Barbara Phillips, editor of the Journal of Current Issues and Research in Advertising. Cancer is a devastating illness that is responsible for 10 million deaths worldwide each year. When health organizations want to educate the public about cancer prevention and treatment, they often turn to cancer narratives, or stories about people's experiences with cancer. Stories have been shown to be an effective persuasion method to change attitudes and behaviors because they engage attention and allow listeners to immerse themselves into another person's emotional perspective. However, it's not clear what types of stories are being told about cancer to influence consumer behavior. Researchers Rogers and Stemmel conducted a content analysis of 402 cancer narrative public service announcements in both text and video form for the two most common types of cancer, breast cancer for women and prostate cancer for men. They found that more than half of the stories contained emotional appeals, 1/3 had vivid examples, and 80% were told from a first-person perspective. For example, one ad featured Joan, who wept as she told how she was treated for breast cancer while pregnant and urged other women to get tested. Ultimately, Joan and her baby were healthy. Almost 80% of cancer narratives focused on improving health, and 84% focused on coping skills. Most of the ads talked about treating as opposed to preventing cancer. The researchers also compared narratives from government organizations to nonprofit agencies. Nonprofits were more likely to use emotional appeals, vivid examples, coping skills, treatment and screening, and first-person accounts than governments. Governments made greater use of multiple-person stories, which enabled different perspectives and voices that could stand out from all the other first-person stories. Nonprofits seemed to avoid the last stages of the cancer continuum, such as hospice or end of life, preferring to highlight success stories. When comparing men's and women's cancer narratives, there were fewer PSAs for prostate than breast cancer, but the narratives were remarkably similar in terms of story elements. In summary, cancer narrative PSAs use similar stories because they help build attention in and interest for a difficult topic. Improving health, treating cancer, coping skills, and improving mood were the most prevalent behaviors shown, suggesting health marketers use stories to model healthy behaviors. Through modeling, characters in the story can share wisdom and insights discovered through their cancer experiences. However, results also show that prevention and screening behaviors were among the least prevalent, suggesting a gap where advertisers can do more. Also, far fewer stories featured men's experiences with cancer as opposed to women's. Advertisers can use the results of this study to more thoughtfully craft compelling cancer narratives. It seems we haven't heard the end of this story yet. For more information, this research paper was published in the 2020 issue of the Journal of Current Issues and Research in Advertising.